Welcome to the SEO.co Search Engine Optimization Podcast. Digital marketing essentials and next level tactics. From offsite and on-site optimization to persuasive selling and everything in between. You'll learn actionable tips on what it takes to outright and outrank your competition. Now, here's your host, Nate Need.
Welcome to another episode of the SEO.co Search Engine Optimization Podcast. On today's podcast, we're going to be discussing homepage SEO and SEO strategies for your homepage. Homepage SEO is a little bit different than the other pages on your website, and those nuances we'll talk about them a little bit here, but it's also just important to understand what the differences are between optimizing a landing page or a blog post versus optimizing your homepage. And that includes how your content looks, the length of your content, what you're discussing, how you're linking from that content, how you're linking to it, both on and off site. And so as we discuss that today, this is a critical topic, and it all revolves around, a lot of it revolves around branding. Google crawls websites on a regular basis and analyzes them to see what's relevant and how they're relevant for certain terms. And the Googlebot crawler is responsible for inspecting your website and determining how relevant pages are and ranking. And because the Googlebot is largely a text-only crawler, they do crawl things like iframes, and they're getting better at understanding podcasts like this one. They don't count images as much, and so they're mainly looking at the text content, unless those images, of course, have image alt tags and descriptions and EXIF data. But the text content on your website is going to be critically important for ranking your homepage. One thing to note about your homepage content is the length is really dependent on your niche, but there's no need to have a homepage with thousands of words of content. It should be brief and to the point. Brevity is your ally, and the homepage should lead them on a path to other pages that are your most important landing pages for conversions. However, your homepage is also the place where you're going to establish your brand and establish what it is that you do and don't do. So a lot of people will try to tell everything about anything on their homepage, and that includes both their menu and their menu items that might be extensive and too large. And we have a number of case studies that show that it actually is better to have less is more. As the late Steve Jobs would say, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. And so on your homepage, as well as your menu, header menus, keep it simple, stupid, and don't make it overly complicated or add too much fluff in the text. So the content richness of your homepage is important, but a lot of times what you're going to want to have is clickable boxes that might open up. For instance, if you have a frequently asked questions area on your homepage, you might want to pull in recent blog posts in some sort of slider to the homepage, and those can lead to other places to keep the readers and your visitors engaged and take them to places that might be of interest to them that at least apply to what your homepage is discussing. One other caveat or interesting thing to note, and that is important here, is paying attention to the content both above and below the fold, and what action items do you want your users and visitors to take when they are coming to your website. What sits above the fold is the most important piece, are the most important pieces for your homepage content, and what sits below the fold might be a little bit more salesy and might have a little bit more weight in terms of your ability to sell. But above the fold content is critically important. And take a look at the competitors out there in your niche, those that are winning, and pay attention to their above the fold content. It might give you a little bit of insight and input into how you should have your above the fold content. Another area is to understand is the immediate headlines that you're showcasing on your homepage. When someone comes, what's the call to action? What is the main tagline? How does that draw the user in to get them to do something, to fill out a form, to go to a shopping cart? How is that working? And how are you taking the customer on a journey through a funnel on your site? Another important piece to understand is the length of your homepage content. I wouldn't go anything above 1,000 words. Usually 500 or so is useful and helpful. I think if you want to talk about pillar content, that pillar content should be elsewhere. The homepage is not a place for pillar long form content. It's a place for a nice video or maybe two, and some calls to action and links to your services pages and things like that. It's not a place for the long form. When it comes to link building for your homepage, I'm going to emphasize this, and I can't emphasize it enough. Links to the homepage should be branded links, period. On occasion, and I would say less than 5%, maybe even less than 3% of the links that are built to the homepage should have any keyword specific chatter to them. And I would be very leery on how that's done over the long haul. Most of the links linking to your homepage should be either your full URL, your URL with www, without www, your full URL with the slash and not with the slash, your brand name, if it's 2 words, both separated, your brand name, if it's 1 word, just that 1 word, and even the brand name plus the .com or whatever TLD extension that you're using. That is how your homepage should be structured when it comes to linking to it. Make sure that when those links are happening, that they're coming from obviously high authority sites and that they have natural content elements, but your anchor text and your destination strategy on homepage link building should be the same. And same goes with other pages. You probably for natural sake want to have those links with branded anchor text, including the .com or whatever extension you're using, to other pages as well, because that is natural. When it comes to homepage SEO, a lot of it is test. You don't know what you don't know until you try it. And so we'll link to some of these items in the show notes. Continue to test your homepage. We hope this works. We look forward to seeing you back here again.
Thank you for joining us on the SEO.co podcast. We appreciate your time. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show, and visit SEO.co for more resources based on today's topic, as well as access to more podcast episodes to help you improve your site's long-term SEO success.